When we heard that 700 million will be spent on the national dialogue, many of us wondered, didn't we? Who is on the committee that decided that this is a good idea? Well, here is one of them.
And I'm a supporter of the dialogue. Government is going to listen. People are going to talk. And the dialogue has the potential even to change the constitution, because it's urgent and it's needed, and I'm a big supporter of the dialogue.
No wonder, right? He's a man that believes in the national dialogue. He's a man that thinks that this is a solution to border management. He thinks this is a solution to investors and business owners pulling out of South Africa. He's a supporter of this silly exercise. He thinks it will lower the unemployment rate. This guy thinks a dialogue will end corruption. Finally, the ANC will listen.
Why do most people believe that it's a waste of time and arguably a waste of money? We've seen an amount like 700 million being thrown around as potentially being spent.
Yes, that was the amount. I'm sitting on that committee.
Okay.
And we presented that amount to President Ramaphosa. And he said, never. Never will we spend 700 million. Go and find to make it cheaper. We came back with an amount of 459
million.
Yes, he still said no. Go back. We are sitting right now, this morning, with how can we make it much cheaper because the president wants it to be cheaper. Now, people shouldn't want to claim easy political victories. We took that amount to him. I was part of the people that took the 700 amount. And he said, no way. When we came with 459, he said, no way, make it cheaper.
All along, we thought that the ANC and its two babies, the EFF and the MKP, were the main problems. But I think we need to include the PA as one of those babies. Liam Jacobs was right when he said this.
Dilly ding, dilly dong. If you vote for the Patriotic Alliance, you vote for the ANC. Let's take a look at all the municipalities in South Africa where the Patriotic Alliance has positions. And if you take a look at the composition of that municipality, the ANC and the Patriotic Alliance are always holding hands. I think it's clear for all of us to see that the Patriotic Alliance is willing to sign a deal with the devil, all in the name of power. So jy moet wakker wees, hulle sal altyd jou stem vir die ANC verkoop.
We took that amount to him. I was part of the people that took the 700 amount. And he said, no way. When we came with 459, he said, no way, make it cheaper.
Imagine how out of touch can one person really be? Out of touch and simply daydreaming. This guy is now supporting Cyril Ramaphosa. Gayton is telling us that the president saw the proposal that he and his friends brought, and even Cyril Ramaphosa couldn't believe it. Gayton, along with his committee, are the ones that thought that 700 million was a figure that should be spent on sitting down and running your mouths. They were told by Cyril to get lost, and Gayton and his committee told themselves that 400 million was much better. They simply don't get it, do they? Even if they spend 100 rand for this little talking shop of theirs, it will still be too much. Every rand should be put to good use for the people of this country. Every single rand must benefit us, the citizens.
But how do you motivate for 459 million to anyone who's asking? It seems to an ordinary South African like a lot of money, and to some of the issues that you're raising, especially in the colored community, that money could go a long way in resolving some of the ills.
I mean, how much did CODESA cost us? This thing, according to me, there's certain things for me that really is needed in this country. That you can't truly, honestly, if I must be honest, put a price tag on. Social cohesion and equality is needed at the moment. And the dialogue has the potential to start those conversations to put us on the road to be a socially cohesive country. And for us to be an equal country. People want to be heard. People want to have their say.
If 400 million rand or even the initial 700 million was spent to build a wall by our border, I would have felt happier. If it had been used to build tar roads and bridges for communities that have none, I would have been happy. If it had been spent on building schools, hospitals, police stations in underserved communities, I would have been happy. But Gayton and crew thought it was better spent on people talking about not having the schools, the hospitals, the borders, the bridge, or the policing. Yeah, ne? On top of all of that, this guy has the audacity to say that anyone who boycotts the dialogue has no urgent issues.
A lot of people, I've seen people say they're boycotting the dialogue. The only people that will boycott the dialogue are the ones that issues are not as urgent as the others. The issues of the dialogue are very urgent for the Khoi and the San, for the brown communities.
Imagine that. Someone wants to gaslight you into supporting this Cyril Ramaphosa dialogue. Why would anyone sensible want to make you think that this dialogue is going to change anything? Apart from telling you about how much he believes in this dialogue, Gayton took this opportunity to tell you about how he is an activist, just in case you didn't know.
Colored people had it better rights, better access. I know. Because I grew up black and colored. When I go to my cousin's house, my family's house in the township, I must use the bucket toilet. But we on the colored side had flushing toilets. My first march, which I arranged in Heidedal, was in solidarity with my cousins and the black kids at their school. Because they didn't have textbooks. They had to buy them while we got them for free. And I, at a young age, arranged a march of 5,000 people in Heidedal who marching to the township in solidarity for books.
When he took time from being a criminal, or maybe before he became a criminal, he too was an activist. It was his previous vocation, don't you know that?
My first robbery, they hit me 8 years. Then the further charges came, all the charges came now. Then they gave me 13 years. And the third one came, it took me to 17 years.
But you never killed anyone during the robberies, no?
No, never. We were just very fortunate. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you the craziest thing you ever had probably on the show. Do you know that from the age of 10, I so badly wanted to kill anybody.
Wow.
Like, it's something that people don't grasp. We colored boys, when we grew up, we call it you've made your bones. Have you made your bones? So if you've not killed somebody there, you've not made your bones. You can't lie about killing somebody because they know we live. And I grew up wanting so badly to kill people. I remember one guy was stealing my coat, bruh. A coat I got as a gift from fire.
Yeah.
He gave me a leather coat because it was summer.
Yeah.
And he wants to make sure that you know that, just in case you don't recognize those struggle credentials that we only knew the ANC, EFF, and MKP to boast about. This is the same issue we spoke about not so long ago. The fact that they want to create a country of activists. The young and the old, everyone is trying to be an activist.
So many reasons. Some of the people in the NGOs, Abalusa, all these organizations, they are crooks themselves. Some of them, they are not fighting genuinely. They just want to get in. Organizing few people, march. The next thing you are co-opted. And some of them, they go to all these guys collecting money, collecting money here. That's why I said, let me take a step back.
Everyone wants to lead a protest. Gayton is trying to clean up his name by telling us that he too led a march decades ago. He has seen that the ANC comrades mess up and ask for forgiveness by reminding you that they marched for your freedom. He has seen how being an activist pays, and so he too was an activist. What a load of rubbish. Leading protests does not make you a good person. Protest culture is actually part of our problem in South Africa. Policies of the ANC.
The issues of the dialogue are very urgent for the Khoi and the San, for the brown communities.
The ANC has continued with a culture of division. The apartheid government was racist. They created a country where citizens were divided by color. Many hoped that 1994 was the end of division along racial lines. But the ANC, instead of ending the segregation by color, created a scenario wherein the citizens of this country are being used by people like Gayton or Malema or Zuma or Floyd to push their own agendas. The Khoi, the blacks, the colors, the Afrikaner, the Indian, nonsensical politics. The border, the army, the police, the hospitals are the issues that I want to see sorted out. What kind of government do we have that does not understand that? I want to see schools, roads, bridges being built. I want to see Koreans, Americans, Japanese, Israelis, Germans, and other Africans opening companies and branches for their companies right here, investing their money right here, transferring their skills right here. Don't tell me about this race and that tribe. That is nonsensical politics. This is the main reason the ANC should go. The ANC engage in corruption, and when they should answer for it, they resort to race politics. After they try to destroy the country through corruption and race politics, they want us to accept the money-wasting national dialogue. The national dialogue is a sign of incompetence. That's all. Any logical person who is paying attention to the problems in this country will tell you what they want, and they'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want the dialogue. It is obvious, but not to Cyril and not to Gayton. Fellow citizens, we need to get rid of these silly parties. Gayton was criticized for his kafir statements not so long ago, so he had to go to the Penwell show to clean up his name. These are the tweets that he posted. Like I said previously, to me it means nothing. I'm not bothered. I am not a kafir, and there are more things for me to worry about than worrying about being called something that I know I am not. But the criticism certainly worried Gayton, and this conversation was a form of damage control. Now, look at this. These are the effects of having leaders like Gayton. When you make it your mission to say dumb things as an adult, the young people will copy that too. They will try by all means to be cool like you. But this is not cool. So when you see people like Malema singing Tubuli Bunu, remember that's the effect that it will have on young people. They see it as cool. They see it as cool to say and do these things. You chose leaders like these, dear brothers and sisters. They get you angry about racial issues more than they get you angry about their dumb ideas, about their corruption, about their unfulfilled promises. It is time to wake up, South Africa. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Katlego. This is Citizen Concerned. And until next time, beware of the comrades.